members thought U.S. Navy Pearl Harbor hero Paul Gebser's remains would never be found, and he would never get a proper burial. Today, all of that changed. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee. After years of uncertainty, Gebser is finally back home and laid to rest at Fort Rosecrans National Cemetery. CBS 8's Ariana Cohen talked with his nephew, who has waited 8 decades to see this happen.
Family members and friends have waited 8 decades for this moment to give Paul Gebser the proper burial he deserved.
My family's waited 81 years for this moment.
81 years ago, Paul Gebser was killed on the USS Oklahoma when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. His body was never recovered.
He was 100% dedicated to serving his country. His mother and father were both German immigrants that came over here pre-World War I, and they were such patriots and so happy to be in the United States and out of Germany that he just sort of had a passion for protecting his country.
Gebser has this headstone at Mount Hope Cemetery since his family feared his remains would never be found. However, that all changed when his nephew, native San Diegan Paul Behan, received a phone call from the U.S. Navy 11 years ago, telling him they may have found his granduncle's remains. They did a DNA test and 8 years later determined it was a match.
And of course, during COVID, they had to postpone the memorial service to 2022, so that's today. And growing up as a kid, I would hear the stories about my granduncle, who I'm named after. I mean, it gives me a sense of pride that we get to be the chosen ones to do this, but it also makes me really, really sad that, you know, my aunt and my grandma and my grandpa and, you know, who, you know, suffered this loss are not able to, you know, see him put to rest. But I know they're watching from far away. Paul H. Gebser. I have a prayer book that also had his little notes. My family's held on to for about 85 years. So I want him to be buried with it.
A man who served the country and paid the ultimate sacrifice has finally laid to rest. Ariana Cohen, CBS 8.